Hello and welcome to International Talks. We are going to talk about the internal politics of the Russian Federation. As we already see, the Russian regime is becoming more and more like North Korea by getting more and more restrictions over free media, press, journalism, and politics. Within the last few days, Facebook and Twitter has been banned on the territory of Russia. We can clearly see that the YouTube video hosting is going to be banned as well, because YouTube has banned the main propaganda channels RT and Soloviev Live. The Russian government has already imposed a new law that restricts the movement of information that contradicts the official propaganda. For example, any individual that spreads the information that is not in line or within the line of the official narrative may be charged up to 15 years of imprisonment. Because of this new law, the last remaining opposition channels and radio were forced to close. For example, TV Rain and Echo Moskvy are closing their offices in Russia. And this means that the ordinary citizens of the Russian Federation will now have officially only the Russian narratives, the Russian governmental narratives as the information. This means that less and less people will have the true information about the war that is going on against Ukraine. Regarding the protest movement, already more than 10,000 individuals were arrested across the Russian Federation. These people were protesting the ongoing war against Ukraine and were saying no to war. And each and every of them were jailed for at least 15 days in prison. The Russian government has already cleared the political spectrum as well. The politicians that were opposing the Russian government through these years are already fleeing the Russia or have already fled the Russia. The main opposition leader, Alexei Navalny, is jailed, as you know, for 2 years for the sentence, which is absolutely absurd. But we can see that the Russian government will add additional charges so that he will be spending in jail more years. And the remaining leaders like Ilya Yashin will be promptly in the near future also jailed because he refuses to go along with the official Russian narrative, and he says that the truth is more important in his last video. Because of the vacuum that is already existing in the Russian politicum, we can clearly see that the absolute majority of the Russian society, civil society, is totally negligible to the conflict. Under the official surveys conducted by the Russian government, more than 70% of the people is in support of the so-called special operation. But we can clearly say that this information is completely flawed, because how can we trust the government that bans everything and everybody from the opposing information? At the end of the day, we can see that the Russian population pays more attention to the closing of the Western brands like IKEA or McDonald's. And we can see the queues of tens of thousands of people in order to get the final products by these brands. And if we compare these numbers to the protest movements and people who were protesting through these days against the war against Ukraine, we can see that this vacuum that the Russian government has created pays itself, and the absolute majority of the people are in complete negligence of this conflict. To sum up this video, we can clearly see the trends of the Russian Federation becoming a new and the biggest North Korean regime in the world, because the politicians have already fled the country, or the remaining of politicians are either jailed or are going to be jailed. The independent media has already been closed because of the new law that is imposed by the parliament of the Russian Federation. So the people are negligent to the conflict, and only a fraction of civil society of 145 million people is protesting the war. Last but not least, the Russian Federation is becoming more and more isolated, and it is becoming more and more dangerous because the Russian Federation is the biggest nuclear power in the world. As this power is getting more and more closed in itself, we can clearly say that the government will be more radical in its means against Ukraine and the West. So we have already seen that the highest level of the Russian politicians have already showing muscles of their nuclear capabilities. I hope you liked the video, and let me know what do you think about the Russian internal politics. Until next time.